Alright guys, so we're back yet again and we're going to be doing another movie review today. And today we're going to be reviewing Elevation, starring of course Anthony Mackie. We got Marine back in here and we have a whole bunch of others. Now again, this movie did come out last year and it took me a minute to watch it because I saw it and I'm like, you know what, let me give it a chance, be able to review something. And again, I know a lot of people are not happy with Anthony Mackie right now with what he said, with all the stuff going on with Captain America and him kind of making that comment. I have my own issues with that. Now again, I will give him credit to where credit is due. He is a good actor. I did enjoy him in this film. I did enjoy Twisted Metal when he was in there, and even when he was in Captain America. But again, this is not about Captain America, so I just want to kind of get that out the way. But the entirety of this film is where you have Anthony Mackie plays Will, you have Marine playing Nina, and you have Maddie Hansen as Katie. And again, these unknown creatures called Reapers that just suddenly peered up out of the ground, started attacking humanity, and the only way they could survive was to go above 8,000 feet. These creatures could not go above 8,000 feet for whatever reason. Was unsure of this reason. They have been trying to fight them. Nothing seems to work, and Nina has been working on something, and she knows there's a way that they have to face these monsters at some point, sometime. She just doesn't know when or how. So Will, unfortunately, has to go on this journey to get breathalyzers for his son, and he already has problems with Nina because she is one of the reasons why his wife was killed, and he blames her for that. And during the entirety of the movie, you see where they go back and forth, not only what happened to his wife, but also, what happened with Nina and also Katie, because they all have these connections, and you can see that Katie does like Will a little bit, but at the same time, she knows that that's her friend, and Nina still blames herself for Will's wife's death, even though she went along with her on her own free will. Now, they go through a lot of trials and tribulations, not only trying to survive but stay above 8,000 feet. If they have to go below, they take the chance of getting attacked by these reapers. And apparently they hunt by only by, I would say, somewhat by sound, but also by the breathing of human beings. And they're able to use, I would say, not really a heat seeker, but being able to find them through their breathing. So they go through, this one scene which was crazy, on I would say not an escalator, but a oh man, I can't think of the name. What you would use for going skiing or snowboarding. I can't think of the name of it right now offhand. And Katie, she goes up there and then she just jumps, and they have to hold on to her. They finally get away from these things, and then they have to go underneath a bunch of tunnels. And it just doesn't seem like whatever they're doing, whether it be bullets, whether it be bombs, whether it be something else, it just doesn't seem to work. And these things are made out of whatever material to where normal military weapons just does not seem to work on these things. So what's crazy is they get further and further in this town, and they know they only have a certain amount of days to get there and back, because obviously Will's son's only going to last so long without this stuff. And then when he finally is able to get to the hospital, unfortunately they do lose Kate in the process in a mine tunnel. And that's when Nina becomes a little bit more, I would say, humanized, to where she does not let her work fully take her over, to where she's finally angry, even though she and Katie were not on good terms. They weren't really friends, they weren't even allies. I mean, they were allies, but they weren't even friends, they weren't even acquaintances. They were just there to help Will out and be able to go on this journey for their own reasons. And she gets angry, like she does. She gets really angry. And when they finally go in the hospital, you see a lot of different ways where they try to figure out to not only take out these monsters by explosives, but also be able to try to find a way to kill them. Because she even said, how long is that going to last? Another year maybe? And then you're going to have to come right back down, and they're still going to be here, and we're going to be even more wiped out, whether it be with food or sickness or something. So they go to her, where she was working at when everything happened, and she comes up with an idea to be able to take them out, to be able to finally fight back. She creates this unknown bullet to where she puts, I would say, battery acid on here, because she tries a few other methods by shooting the shell of what these creatures are, and nothing seems to work. And when Will's waiting on her, she even tells him, "You need to go because I'll be okay, and your son ain't gonna last around forever." So he tries to haul back, and unfortunately, he gets cornered by all these reapers. Even after his truck that they were using to get to the hospital and where she worked at, and it just didn't seem to have good tires on it. It blew, it flipped the truck, and he had to go on the run. And we even see where he uses all his bullets to take everything out, and it seems like that it's all over for him. It just seems like it's all over for him. Here comes Nina, putting in shots in these things, and you're wanting to root for them because it's like, what are these things? And they just explode. And it turns out they were some kind of machines, and they finally make it back, and she's able to raise the flag that she had, because they were going to use that flag as pretty much rebelling, like the pirate flag of rebelling against these things, and teaching people how to make these bullets with this coating of the bullet to where they could be able to take them out and regain their planet back, because it took out however many people. And it was 3 years, and this takes place 3 years after this occurred. So you can imagine however many people were killed during this overtaking by these machines. And they did not go after any other live action creature. They did not go after cattle. They did not go after animals. They did not go after horses. They did not go after rabbits or goats or anything. They just went after human beings for whatever reason. So it kind of makes you wonder, were they programmed, and who were they programmed by, and how many of these things are there? Because by the very end of the movie, you see where it's just explosions out when the camera expands out, and you just see massive explosions all over the place, because people are finally taking these things out. And slowly, what I would think they'd be doing would be, they would go out, I would say, every day, and just continually expand to go down the mountain, and that way they have a plan to be able to readjust and rebuild and be able to continue their lives the best way possible. Now, I would say, if you want to compare this to anything, I would say compare this to between Tremors meets Transformers meets I Am Legend meets The Last of Us, in a way. That's the best way to describe it. I enjoyed this film. I think the film was really good. I think that the acting was really good as well, because we got to learn Nina was not just uh, a role, cold hearted person. She had a family. She lost her family, and she never talked about it. She kept it to herself. And especially, Will being a father, losing his wife, having to raise a son in this very hard situation, not sure what to do, and having to live without his wife, and having to do everything for his son and keep him alive. So again, I think this movie was good. If you want a good action thriller drama movie, definitely check this out. And again, if you haven't checked it out, that's fine. Let me know what you guys thought about it if you have seen the movie, and hopefully you enjoyed the movie. If you didn't, that's fine too. But like I said, I can't say this is a bad movie. I think it was a good movie. I think the only thing that hurt it was not being able to find out where these creatures come from, what was their motives, who was, I would say, behind their programming, who was controlling them, and what was the overall expectation, the goal of these creatures, other than to probably wipe out humanity. But that's just my only gripe with the movie. Overall, I think it was all right. I think it was a decent film. Hopefully, we get another one maybe at some point. What do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you as always on the next one.